started the independent living program when we came into contact with young people in institutions who we wanted to transition to family and community-based care. Some of them did not actually have family to go to, and so they were actually older, over 18 years old, and wanted to live independently. Some had family, but chose to actually go and live independently.
You must engage the youth. You don't just leave them on their own and think they are adults, otherwise they get lost in life.
In terms of children that were going into independent living, we had a variety. We had those that were coming direct from the shelters, those that we would trace for their families and either out of abuse or by detecting that the situation will not be protective, or even the parents outrightly rejecting them, we would consider them for independent living. We had a program for juvenile delinquents. They would not feel comfortable coming into the shelter, but we were telling them, look here, you cannot live on the street, because as you live on the street, it is more of a dangerous place for you, as we cannot keep coming and rescuing you from police cells. We need to get you to stabilize somewhere.
Whether caregivers are ready to transition, it requires a holistic strength-based approach, which considers emotional, psychological, and practical readiness. Assessing caregivers also needs to include care professionals, caregivers, social workers, and the community, to make sure that the caregivers are ready and they have the abilities and the capabilities to transition.
In the first place, we start by assessing the young adult, him or herself, to see, will this person be able to live independently? And when he's going to live the independent life, has he gotten the skill that will enable him to survive? We look at the best interest of this young person. And when I talk about the best interest of this person, it means a comprehensive discussion with this person.
I shifted to independent living. It was my decision because I was transitioning into university and I had to be around campus to cut the costs of transport and easier going to school for the lectures.
Okay. Yes. So you made the decision to start living independently?
Yes.
Okay. That means you have a full say. You had a full say about it?
Yes, I had a full say, and I was the one who looked for where I had to sleep, where it was secure for me.
So the children, from day one, we have a care plan that says at every stage, you're moving to another point in life.
It takes a lot of planning, and how are they going to sustain themselves? You have to look at a plan which is sustainable, and that after a certain period of time, the young person is able to actually take care of themselves.
The caregivers need to be part of the transition planning. They need to play a big role in when social workers are planning for them to transition. There are so many ways to prepare a young person, but we have to be mindful that the preparation needs to be tailored to individual. We have to be mindful of mental health, mindful of education, mindful of housing, mindful of the safety and the community connections.
Despite us growing up from here, we never knew what is out there. So she talked to me, she prepared me, I was ready. By the time I went for independent living, I already knew what I was expecting out there.
People in independent living encounter or face different challenges. Some lack family support, some have issues to do with housing, some don't have jobs. For children, there could be issues to do with education support, it could be food, bedding, clothing, you know. However, it's our role as practitioners to advocate for their rights, to ensure that they're being supported.
In the first phase, that's the first month, we would ensure someone is there consistently, at least 2 times in a month, checking. Then we go reducing it to a month as we prepare to win them of the support.
I was feeling very happy because they used to come and visit me, and they used to bring for me some food, and they used to come and talk to me and give me some advice how I can be living in the independently, and they have been able to help me some money.
At some point, this support came to a halt that I was getting from the stakeholders that were involved in my transitioning. It can never be an ending giving, okay? So at some point, it had to stop, and they consider other people that are involved in the chain of transitioning.
We also inform the local leaders to keep an eye on the young people, but we also attach them to key, let's say, church. Church, you know, churches sometimes they have youth programs, so we attach them to those structures so that it's more of a support system.
Allow for young people to be part and parcel of the programs they would want to benefit from this, because trends are changing. The way things happened during the past is not the same way today. So they should allow for these young people to take the lead in designing how this program should run, because they best know the things that give them the best in life.
Caregivers have a big role to play in decisions about their care, in the care and even in the preparation to leave care. Caregivers have a big role to play in policies, in information regarding drafting policies that is talking about the care experience, because they have the first-hand experience. Uganda Caregivers Association is a network led by caregivers. So we play a big role in supporting each other, not only amplifying our voices and sharing our experiences, but we advocate for care reform, changing the way we care for children.
Work with government, you know, because they have programs that can support the young people or the children that are living independently.
We have the probation officers, probation and social welfare officers. We may have the youth officers as well. So you see there's this whole team around the child to be able to make some collective decisions on how this placement is going to be and how it's going to be supported as well. Trainings that are essential for social workers and staff supporting young people into transitioning into independent living. One of them is life skills. Life skills is absolutely very, very important so that the social worker can be able to provide that ongoing basis.
And then we also have to make sure that we consider the mentors. This person, because he's just going to move into new life, there must be a mentor to help this person for some time at least and observe that this person has somehow stabilized.
With the mentor, it has to be how does this one relate with the mentor, how are they relating, but also the mentor understanding their role of supporting this youth or child on independent living.
By also reviewing our existing policies to see whether this select group of individuals is actually catered for, we found that there's actually no framework concerning this. So we'd want to see that a framework is built so that other organizations, orphanages, children's homes can be able to use this as a guideline on supporting young people transition back into community.
Another thing that caregivers need is policies. In Uganda, we don't have any policies supporting supported independent living. We don't have any policies on transitioning a caregiver from the institution to independent living.
Trauma-informed programs, because some people have gone through stress, trauma in their homes, or even in their institutions where they spent most of their lives. So I feel it's very important if we come up and organized workshops, trainings to be able to address all these concerns.
Really, young people face a lot of mental health issues, including neglect, abuse, anxiety, grief, living all your life sheltered, and then you have to transition to live independently. The anxiety of what is out there, the anxiety of not knowing what is happening next.
Some of the challenges that I've experienced living independently, definitely loneliness still comes in. I have not yet found a spouse to stay with, so there's that loneliness. I also miss some of my old friends.
Another lesson is building cultural identity and roots, so that the caregivers can, feel they belong. They know about their culture, they know about their roots. Another lesson is addressing, it's very important to address gender-based violence. Girls are vulnerable on gender-based violence, and then caregivers living with disabilities are really vulnerable to abuse. So they need to address that.
Their expectations are very high. They believe that it's you to provide for them each and everything, which might not be the case. So with their expectations being very high, so it's good to go when you're open-minded and sit with the young person and reason with them and try to make them understand how life works, how it is outside there. But it's also important to note that they're all unique in a different way. They have unique needs. The same needs for a girl child will be different for a boy child.